It's been well documented that the prices have been rising on Atari 7800 games. Long gone are the times of getting these games for $2 from Big Lots clearance bins, or from liquidator websites for only a few bucks. Long gone are the times of finding tons of cartridge lots on eBay for $25, $30, or even just $50. The Atari 7800 was on the upward tick for a lot of collectors, and it was all capped off with the release of the Atari 2600 Plus, the first console that made playing the Atari 7800 easy and possible on HD televisions. But in this age of $400 to $700 homebrew eBay listings, and full collections for multiple thousands of dollars, is it possible to get 7800 games for a decent price? What can you get for even just a few $100s? Where have all the deals gone? Well, I've been looking into just that. I gave myself $300 and attempted to get not only the best deals, but complete in-box games. So, what was I able to get? What are my ultimate findings? And can you replicate what I was able to do? Well, let's find out. Let me start off by saying that if you want to maximize your money, you do not want to rely solely on eBay, and many people do just that. For Atari 7800 stuff, there was a surplus of cartridges made that persist to this very day. What I found was that the difference in price between cartridge only and complete in box, or even sealed, is not as large as you might think it would be. So I decided to do what I did so many years ago, and focus on complete in box games. If you focus on just cartridges, then you can stretch your gaming dollar a bit further, but not as much as you might initially think. I also wanted to avoid the heavy hitters. So let's name off a few games that seem to be going for $100+, whether cartridge only or complete in box. Tank Command has long since been the holy grail of the Atari 7800 retail library. Outside of crazy garage sale lots that many people have long said no longer exist, you're not going to find this game for cheap. Even the other Froggo game, Water Ski, goes for a fair bit of money. Cartridge only for Water Ski is edging on $80, and complete in box is around $120, $125 in most cases. Alien Brigade, Mean 18 Ultimate Golf, Planet Smashers, and Kung Fu Master are all hovering around $200 for complete in box, and maybe only $50 to $70 less for cart only. And again, I've seen copies of those games for over $300. But be patient, you won't have to pay those prices if you're willing to wait a little bit. Even games like Commando, Ikari Warriors, Midnight Mutants, and a few others are hovering right around $150 or so complete in box, and somewhere around $100 to $120 for cartridge only. So the point is, a lot of games are becoming harder to find, and the prices are reflecting the rarity. But let's say you have no 7800 games, but just grabbed an Atari 2600 Plus. What can be found for the $300 that I have? We will hit up eBay, but not immediately. I'd rather start by checking out the Atari treasure troves of Video 61 Atari sales and Best Electronics. Over on these websites, I was able to pick up a fair number of games for far less than or the same amount as complete in box on eBay. The only difference is that these are factory sealed, with the hang tabs and the plastic and cellophane. That's right, there are still websites that sell these games at a fair price. So let's start by seeing what I got on Video 61. I was able to pick up Centipede, Dig Dug, Xenophobe, Robotron 2084, and Joust brand new in the box, in really good condition too, mind you, for just about $130 with free shipping. I could have stretched my dollar farther, but Xenophobe routinely goes for about $80 or more on eBay. So grabbing it on Video 61 for $39.95 was just too good to pass up. And if you've never played Xenophobe, well, it's a really good game on 7800. It's a fun adventure arcade thing, and adds some variety to our collection. Joust is probably the best port of that game on any of the early consoles, and I was glad to pick it up for $29.95, which is less than some open copies elsewhere. Dig Dug and Centipede were no-brainers for $20 each, and Robotron 2084 was also really good at $30. Now I could have grabbed Xevious for $20 among others, but I decided I spent enough here and moved on to Best Electronics to see what I could get, and I wasn't disappointed. Some of my favorite games on the 7800 are the Nintendo ports. And yes, if you're not aware, the NES competitor, the Atari 7800, had copies of Nintendo games thanks to contracts and agreements that were still in effect from prior Atari dealings. So I was thrilled to grab Donkey Kong Jr. from Best for $35.95, and I knew I had to get it when I saw the listing. Now to reiterate, I have seen a few complete in-box copies on eBay for Donkey Kong Jr., but the prices were ridiculous. And it's for no other reason than people don't know that there are still sealed copies out there for a fair price. I also grabbed one-on-one basketball and Winter Games, and overall I spent just over $100. Winter Games doesn't get the credit it deserves in my opinion, and I enjoy it more than its summer counterpart. And one-on-one basketball might be my favorite sports game on the 7800. These are all solid pickups on the console, and the prices were excellent. Now again, I could have picked up more. Tower Toppler and Hat Trick are just $15, brand new at Best Electronics. And Tower Toppler is a game you really can't go wrong with. The only reason I didn't pick it up was because I wanted to find deals in a few other places. But before we travel to those other places, I'd like to remind you all to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content. I put out 2 videos a week, and you can be notified whenever I upload. Also, hit the like button if you're enjoying the video, and consider becoming a Patreon if you continue to be entertained by the channel time after time. Link is in the description. Okay, so I wanted to find the best deals possible on eBay, just to see what I could get for the Atari 7800 Pro system. And I was, well, very disappointed as all the prices were very, very premium, even for the common games. At this point, I was very much locked into the new and sealed route, and there is no reason that you would have to do this, but it's what I decided to do. I'll give comparison pricing where I can. Now we have about $70 roughly, but the 300 is not a hard cap. And spoiler alert, we're gonna go over it a bit. I was able to track down a copy, brand new and sealed, of Impossible Mission for $50. Most copies on eBay right now are from the PAL territory for some reason. And the only other complete in-box one I found was even more than just $50. It was about $64, and that's without shipping. I figured having a game like Impossible Mission would give me something long and challenging to try and master, even if I could never technically beat it. For those that don't know, there is an issue where you can't get the last 2 puzzle pieces. So Impossible Mission, well, it's really impossible. After picking that up, I then put in a best offer for Real Sports Baseball that was accepted, and I got it for $15, brand new and sealed with free shipping. Most people are trying to get around $20 or so for Real Sports Baseball, but there are a ton of them to pick from on eBay. Somebody will take a decent offer like the guy that I dealt with did. Now, none of the other games that I saw on eBay were really worth it at this point, but my recommendation is just to keep a saved search of the games you really want, and eventually one will get listed in the condition you desire for a fair price. Be patient. Again, patience is the key. There was an odd deal here and there on eBay, but again, at this point, I technically only had $5 left. I then remembered seeing box games at my local Replay used media store, so I took a trip out there, and I ended up grabbing Pole Position 2, new in a slightly imperfect box for $10. So in total, I spent about $310, and wound up with 11 sealed Atari 7800 games. Really, I shouldn't have gone the sealed route. I would have probably gotten more if I had gone a different way, but why not when you can get sealed games from Best Electronics and Video 61, and heck, I even found some locally. And really, who doesn't love pulling the wrap off of a new game and being the first person since it was packaged to touch that cartridge? These games are mine from the moment the seal is broken. I am the first, and to this point, only owner of these games. And I think that's pretty cool. But the point is, even cartridge-only games on eBay were not much cheaper than what I had paid for some of these. And they all will work on my 2600 Plus, giving me hours of enjoyment in a variety of genres. I picked up sports games, a racing game, arcade stuff, adventures, and more. I eventually went a little overboard and picked up a new and sealed copy of Fight Night off eBay for $28.50 plus $5 shipping, which was even better than that of Video 61 and Best Electronics. So if a game is high on those sites, well, I hate to say it, but just keep being patient. Deals are out there. The point is, these things have gone up a lot, yes, but they are also readily available if you know where to look. The problem really comes in when you get to the games we mentioned at the top of the video. I'm talking about the Activision stuff, the late 7800 games like Alien Brigade and Planet Smashers, the Froggo stuff, and even the Absolute games. Those you'll have to spend a lot on, but again, you might not have to spend as much as you expect. There are several copies of Commando for $135 or more on eBay, but eventually, while prepping for this video, one was listed for $99 or best offer. So a good solid $90 offer might have taken it. Now, is that a great earth-shattering price? Well, no, but it's not bad when the cheapest offering was $35 to $45 more. I would also hold off on the expensive stuff, just to see what Atari themselves are gonna do. Fatal Run was really getting up there, and so was Ninja Golf. And they are still asking for pretty high prices for the original copies. But $40 for a new and sealed copy is just fine. And besides the SRB rating, it's the same game and same style cartridge you would have paid $200+ for months ago. I don't know this for sure, but I'm betting that Asteroids, Planet Smashers, Alien Brigade, Motor Psycho, Centipede, and a few others are likely to get releases from Atari.com in the future. I feel pretty good about the stuff that I purchased, but I want to know what you guys think. Did I do okay for my $310? Or should I have gone a different route? I didn't intend to do sealed games when I started the video, but I was having fun picking all these up, so I just went with it. And fun is what collecting and playing video games is all about. So, where do you go to pick up your Atari games or video games in general? Have you found any good deals lately? And will you be using Video 61 and Best Electronics to pick up some of these games? Let me know about all this and more down in the comments below, along with anything else you want to say. I'd love to hear about it. I'd also like to take this time to thank the following classy Atarians for supporting the Atari Network on Patreon and on YouTube memberships. Members get access to exclusive videos, audio updates, streams, and more. Plus, it helps the channel to continue to grow and go strong. So thank you all for your support. It means the world to me, and I hope to continue making you all proud. Don't forget to check out the Atari Network Discord too, in order to talk about everything collecting and Atari with like-minded people. The link to the Patreon and the Discord are in the description. And with that, it's time to wrap up this exercise in buying Atari 7800 games in the year 2024. I've been the 7800 Pro Gamer, a guy who spent money I had no right in spending in the first place, here on the Atari Network, and I hope to see you all in the next video. And until next time, remember to stay classy, Atarians.